Okay, this is just an add-on to the video. I don't know where I'm going to place it, so, but it'll be unexpected. Okay, so truncated. Okay, so I just wanted to take a look at this, and I don't think I did in the video, so I'm just going to add this in. So late 15th century, maybe the 5th day. From truncate, originally in heraldry. Okay, so something to do with some kind of family line or something. I don't know. Modern senses are post 1700. So let's see, truncate. So it says late 1500 from Latin truncatus, cut off. Past participle of truncare, to maim. Oh, to maim. I would probably say maintain. Okay, to maim, mutilate, cut off. From truncus, maimed, mutilated. Also trunk of a tree. Again, what are we really talking about here? I know we're not talking about the trunks of huge trees, although I do think that some land masses and portions of this plain may be exactly that, huge tree trunks. But this could be from a family's domain, or, usually these earthworks were in the middle of other smaller ones around it. Kind of like one of those images I shared in the group on Facebook the other day, where the let's see, the higher up peoples of the community, you would see them sitting on these or something and overlooking, and I don't know what else they would have been doing, because it kind of still doesn't make sense unless there's some supernatural something that can come from staying at the top. But then some of them did have huts and houses on top of them as well. I would really like to know the real meaning of how they were designed. A lot of them don't look like they have stairs. I don't know, but we're getting off subject. This was just supposed to be an add-in for etymology. So again, maim, mutilated, the trunk of a tree. Again, cutting down trees like the cherry tree and the walnut tree, like these presidents talked about, is just kind of, I don't know, makes me think. So trunk of the body, okay? So the trunk of the body, and a body can be also a person's body or a group of people. Like how even in like another post that one of my friends shared, that I shared on, actually shared on Instagram, about see, this is why you guys should just definitely join. But anyway, about how the movie Avatar, how they cut down that huge tree, and that was like the life source. This is where everybody lived, and what nurtured them. So anyhow, of certain origin, probably originally mutilated, cut off. Okay, so cross over, pass through, overcome. Again, yeah. So, and then Terry. Let's just do it. Okay. Proto-Indo-European root meaning to rub, turn, derivatives referring to twist, also to boring, drill, rubble, piercing into the rubble of cereal grain to remove the husk, and thus to threshing. Wounded, hurt, grind, wear away, turn, lathe, rub, to strike. Okay. So again, let's see. This reminds me also of the noses being broken off, of some of the statues and some of the things, that are supposedly of modern day Egypt, or Egyptology is what is the study of that now, to ancient Egypt and its remains that sad to say, I think a lot of that stuff came from here and was sent elsewhere. And I think a lot of the stuff was tipped with different types of materials, maybe even gold. And they have taken our goodly things, hmm and have scattered them overseas in other places that more than likely uh, most melanated people or Aboriginal people from the Americas won't be able to travel. Nor again, we like to travel, but we don't like to just go abroad. You know, we are really tied. If you really think about it, there is a spiritual tying of the land. I told you guys, if they sat there and gave us all $1,000 or no, I won't say $1,000. If they gave you a substantial amount of money, brought all these boats and ships that to the ports and invited everyone to go back to Africa, I don't think that many of us would go. And it's not because we have an attachment to the people that are here, it's because we have attachment to the soil. Okay? So again, you can leave your opinion, but I really highly doubt it. I really highly doubt that many of us would go back. And a lot of us that would go back are really fantasizing with that whole Pan-African or so-called Pan-African outlook, and they have not done their own research. Because there's not many of us that can tie ourselves through paperwork or DNA really, okay, and truly, to that land. You may tie yourself to peoples of that land because peoples of that land are also people from this land that were placed there, mainly in that West African portion that they're comparing your DNA to. And this is why there may be a match, because some of our ancestors were taken over there later on, okay? So when they would have had the means to transport these people. So again, that I know that went off into something whole different, but I've rarely met anyone but celebrities that have been with I think it's Henry Liar Gates. Um, okay, so and they have done that show in order to give us a perception or to give us some kind of uh, to fill some kind of void or something. They did those series with the celebrities that said that they came from these different tribes and stuff. And the DNA people said they can't even they can't even really tie you to a uh, tribe anyway, and that the DNA tests are more for entertainment purposes. Okay, so again, so it's just funny how when if is there a DNA test that you can take to prove that you are American, and if so, they will be testing your DNA with Native Americans who are not the originals, and you may not match. This is something that they came up with, I believe, in the '60s, if not a little bit before. Um, uh, so this was to make sure that all of those indigenous peoples that were coming back to claim their rights um, or their stance to make sure that they weren't able to do it. That's when they came up with this whole DNA testing. And again, they only use a small amount of DNA. The database is not even huge enough to even test, okay? And again, they're not using the bones that they're digging up here in South America and America. They're using the DNA of foreigners that would not be connected to this land originally, okay? And that's done on purpose by higher up people in this governing force, okay? Okay? That resembles the one of these gods in the Bible very much so. That one, I think that they have you basically uh, worshiping, okay, in a certain way. That again, if there was a such thing, the way that they're teaching you in religion is not the way to obtain that whole or to get in tune with the source. Okay, in my opinion. Okay, they're misguiding you like they have with everything else. So the reason why I do this also is to show people how the governing force has such an effect and why they would be doing this and lying about things, and on what scale and level they've been lying and manipulating, mass manipulating the people of this land, okay, and the originals, definitely, okay. So again, like I said, this reminds me of something like that, removing the noses of these statues and these things. And if you ever notice, most of the things that they have from ancient Egypt, that they claim are from ancient Egypt, are always usually broken up. You know, it didn't look like that in the first place because a lot of these things were in one place, broken up, torn apart, and shipped over to these other places in order to give you a perception of something. Okay? So, there.